The Trojan Horse, the Galactic Council's pride and joy, Star Station Harmony, hung in space like a glittering jewel. Its sleek, organic curves and shimmering force field barriers were a testament to the combined technological prowess of 1,000 alien races. To the countless species that called the Milky Way home, Harmony represented the pinnacle of civilization, a place where disputes were settled, alliances forged, and the fate of entire star systems decided. Today, however, the station's tranquility was about to be disrupted by the most unlikely of sources. Unidentified vessel, you are entering restricted space. State your business or prepare to be atomized. The bored voice of a Zelphoid traffic controller drawled over the comms. Captain Zora Frost allowed herself a small smirk as she keyed the response. This is Captain Frost of the Earth merchant vessel Pandora's Box. We've suffered catastrophic system failures and are in dire need of assistance, requesting emergency docking. A moment of silence followed, then a burst of alien laughter erupted over the channel. Did you say Earth? As in that backwater mudball that's been petitioning for membership for the last century. Zara gritted her teeth, her steel-gray eyes narrowing. That's correct. Now, about that emergency docking. Hold your position, human, the controller said, barely containing his mirth. I'll need to consult with my superiors. This is too good to pass up. As the comm channel went silent, Zara turned to her first officer, a burly man named Dmitri. They're buying it. Prepare the crew for Phase 2. Dmitri nodded, his scared face betraying no emotion. Aye, Captain. The wolves are about to invite the fox into the henhouse. Outside, the Pandora's Box drifted lazily, its hull a patchwork of mismatched metal plates and crude repair jobs. Scorch marks and micro-meteor impacts pockmarked its surface, telling the tale of a long, hard journey through unforgiving space. To the trained eye of the Galactic Council's security forces, it looked about as threatening as a children's toy. Which was precisely the point. After what felt like an eternity, the comm crackled back to life. Pandora's Box, you are cleared for docking in Bay 17 Gamma. Try not to scratch the paint with your antique. Zara ignored the jab, instead guiding her ship towards the indicated bay with a precision that belied its apparent decrepitude. As they approached, the massive docking bay doors slid open, revealing a cavernous space filled with sleek alien vessels of every imaginable configuration. Showtime, Zora muttered, activating the ship-wide intercom. All hands, prepare for docking. Remember your roles, people. We're just a bunch of down-on-our-luck merchants looking for a helping hand. The Pandora's Box shuddered as it passed through the atmospheric containment field, artificial gravity taking hold. With a series of clanks and groans that were only partially feigned, the ship settled onto the docking clamps. Zara stood, smoothing out the wrinkles in her patched and oil-stained jumpsuit. Mitri, you have the con. I'll go play nice with our hosts. As she made her way to the airlock, Zara mentally reviewed the mission parameters. Their goal was audacious, some might say insane. Infiltrate the heart of galactic power and gather enough intelligence to give humanity a fighting chance at joining the interstellar community. And if that didn't work, well, Plan B was considerably less diplomatic. The airlock cycled open with a hiss, and Zara stepped out onto the pristine deck of Star Station Harmony. She blinked, momentarily dazzled by the sheer opulence of her surroundings. The docking bay gleamed with polished surfaces and pulsed with holographic displays, a stark contrast to the intentionally dilapidated appearance of her own vessel. A delegation was already approaching, led by a tall, willowy alien with iridescent skin and 4 arms. Flanking it were 2 brutish creatures that could only be security, their hands never far from what Zora assumed were weapons. Welcome aboard Star Station Harmony, the lead alien said, its voice a melodious trill. I am Coordinator Exile Thera. We were surprised by your request for aid. Zara adopted her best, humble captain posture, hunching her shoulders slightly and avoiding direct eye contact. We're mighty grateful for your hospitality, Coordinator. Name's Zara Frost, captain of the Pandora's box. We've had a run of bad luck that would make a black hole seem cheery. Xylthera's multifaceted eyes blinked in what might have been amusement. Yes, well, your vessel's condition certainly speaks to that. Perhaps you'd care to explain how a ship from a non-member world found itself in this sector of space. It's a long story, Zara said, injecting a note of weariness into her voice. Involves a bad trade deal, a malfunctioning nav computer, and a particularly nasty ion storm. Maybe we could discuss it somewhere more comfortable. My crew could use some rest and hot food, if you can spare it. The alien coordinator seemed to consider this for a moment, then nodded. Very well. We shall provide basic accommodations while we verify your story. However, be advised that your movements will be restricted, and your vessel will undergo a thorough inspection. Zara allowed a flash of mock concern to cross her face. Inspection. Now, I'm not one to tell you folks how to do your jobs, but my ship's been through hell. Might not be safe for your people to go poking around without proper precautions. Xylthera made a dismissive gesture with one of its four hands. Our technical expertise far surpasses anything you might imagine, Captain Frost. I assure you, we can handle a simple survey of your craft. As if on cue, a team of alien technicians approached, carrying an array of scanning devices that looked more like abstract sculptures than tools. Zara fought to keep the smile from her face. Everything was going according to plan. Well, if you insist, she said, shrugging. Just don't say I didn't warn you. Dmitri, let the inspection team aboard, and make sure they don't trip over any of our junk. Over the next few hours, Zara played her role to perfection. She regaled her alien hosts with exaggerated tales of the Pandora's box's misfortunes, each story more outlandish than the last. All the while, her crew was hard at work, their true activities hidden beneath a veneer of bumbling incompetence. In the ship's engine room, Chief Engineer Liam O'Connor cursed and sputtered as he tried to explain the workings of their propulsion system to an increasingly frustrated alien inspector. His thick Irish brogue and liberal use of nonsensical technical jargon served as the perfect smokescreen for the real work happening behind the scenes. In the cargo hold, Quartermaster Yuki Tanaka deftly misdirected attention from certain containers, instead focusing the aliens' interest on crates full of worthless trinkets and exotic, but harmless, Earth foods. All the while, hidden sensors mapped the station's layout and defenses, transmitting encrypted data bursts that looked like nothing more than routine system noise. As night cycle approached on the station, Zara found herself in a plush guest quarters, ostensibly granted out of pity for the poor, primitive humans. She activated the subdermal communicator, her voice barely a whisper. Status report. Dmitri's gruff voice responded in her ear. Phase 1 complete, Captain. We've successfully seeded the primary data taps and established a cover comms relay. Tanaka reports that our special cargo remains undetected. Zara allowed herself a genuine smile. Excellent work, everyone. Tomorrow we move to Phase 2. Remember, we're not just fighting for a seat at the table. We're fighting for humanity's future among the stars. As she settled into bed, Zora's thoughts turned to the challenges that lay ahead. The Galactic Council had dismissed humanity as an insignificant speck in the cosmos, unworthy of their time or consideration. Soon, they would learn the cost of such arrogance. For now, though, the Pandora's box sat quietly in its docking bay, a rusted Trojan horse in a garden of technological marvels. And deep within its hull, hidden from prying eyes, the weapons that would reshape the balance of galactic power hummed softly, waiting for their moment to be unleashed. The real game was about to begin, and Zara Frost intended to play for keeps. The wolves at the door. The next morning cycle aboard Star Station Harmony dawned with an air of unease. Captain Zara Frost sensed it the moment she stepped out of her guest quarters. The usual bustle of alien diplomats and bureaucrats had been replaced by hurried whispers and furtive glances. Trouble in paradise, Zara murmured, activating her subdermal communicator. Dmitri, what's the word? Her first officer's voice crackled in her ear. "Chatter's up 300% on their encrypted channels, Captain. Something's got them spooked." Zara allowed herself a small smile. "Excellent. Time to turn up the heat. Proceed with Phase 2. As she made her way towards the station's central atrium, Zara noticed increased security presence. Armored guards from a dozen different species patrolled the corridors, their weapons no longer discreetly holstered but held at the ready. In the atrium, a crowd had gathered around a massive holographic display. Zara shouldered her way through, maintaining her facade of wide-eyed human ignorance. "Excuse me," she said, tapping a nearby Thoraxian on one of its chitinous shoulders. "What's all the fuss about?" The insectoid alien clicked its mandibles in agitation. "Pirate fleet detected at the edge of the system. Biggest one seen in centuries." Zara feigned shock. "Pirates? Out here? But I thought this was supposed to be the safest sector in the galaxy." A ripple of nervous laughter spread through the crowd. A tall, avian creature fixed Zara with its keen gaze. "Perhaps in your primitive corner of space, human, but true civilization always attracts those who would prey upon it." Before Zara could retort, the atrium's speakers crackled to life. Coordinator Gvilethera's melodious voice rang out, though it now carried an edge of tension. "Attention all beings. This is not a drill. A hostile fleet has been detected on an intercept course with Star Station Harmony. All non-essential personnel are to return to their quarters immediately. Security forces, report to your designated stations." The crowd erupted into a panic. Aliens of all shapes and sizes rushed for the exits, their usual decorum forgotten in the face of impending danger. Zara tapped her communicator again. "Dmitri, showtime. You know what to do." Making her way against the tide of fleeing aliens, Zara headed for the command deck. She arrived to find it in chaos. Exile. Ferris stood at the center, its four arms working furiously over holographic controls. "Coordinator," Zara called out, injecting a note of desperation into her voice. "What's going on? Is my ship in danger?" Exile Theris spared her a glance, irritation clear in its multifaceted eyes. "Your primitive vessel is the least of our concerns, human. Return to your quarters immediately." Zara stood her ground. "With all due respect, I've dealt with pirates before. Maybe I can help." A harsh laugh came from nearby. The brutish Kraxan security chief lumbered over, its massive form dwarfing Zara. "Help? What could a human possibly offer against a fleet that's already shredding our outer defenses?" As if to punctuate the Kraxan's words, the station shuddered violently. Warning klaxons blared as red emergency lights bathed the command deck in an ominous glow. "Status report," Exile Thera demanded. A frantic technician responded, his tentacles flying over the controls. "Multiple breaches detected in sectors 7 through 13. Our shields are failing faster than we can reroute power." Zara stepped forward, her earlier meekness replaced by an aura of command that made even the Kraxan pause. "Your defense grid is too predictable. You need to randomize your shield harmonics and weapons frequencies." Exile Thera whirled on her. "And how would you know anything about our defense systems, human?" "Because," Zara said, dropping all pretense, "I spent the last 24 hours analyzing them. And right now, I'm your best shot at surviving this attack." The command deck fell silent, all eyes on the human who suddenly seemed to radiate authority. Ihulthera's expression was unreadable, but the coordinator's next words were cut off by another violent tremor. "Boarding parties detected." The technician screamed. "They're overriding our security lockdowns." Zara locked eyes with Exile Thera. "Decision time, Coordinator. Let me help, or watch your precious station fall." For a tense moment, no one moved. Then Exile Thera gave a curt nod. "Very well, human. Show us what you can do." Zara wasted no time. "First, we need tow." Her words were drowned out by the sound of an explosion. The command deck's main doors blew inward, and through the smoke strode a nightmarish figure. Nearly 3 meters tall, encased in black armor that seemed to drink in the light. The pirate leader cut an imposing figure. Well, well, a voice like grinding metal emerged from the helm. The vaunted Galactic Council, cowering before mere pirates. How the mighty have fallen. Zara's hand inched towards a hidden pocket in her jumpsuit. The pirate leader's helm swiveled towards her, and she froze. And what's this? A human. Here. A chilling laugh emanated from the suit. Oh, this is too perfect. The Council's desperation knows no bounds if they're recruiting from that backwater mudball. Exile Thera stepped forward, its usual grace replaced by rigid defiance. What do you want, pirate? Want? I want it all. This station, your technology, your very lives. But most of all, the pirate's helm retracted, revealing a face that made several aliens gasp in recognition. I want revenge. Zara's eyes widened. She recognized that face from intelligence briefings. Draknar the Destroyer, former Galactic Council member turned outlaw after a failed coup attempt a decade ago. This was no mere pirate raid. It was a carefully orchestrated plan years in the making. Draknar raised a massive weapon, its barrel glowing with barely contained energy. Now, who wants to die first? Time seemed to slow. Zara saw the alien counselors frozen in fear, the security forces too far away to intervene. In that moment, she made a decision that would alter the course of galactic history. How about we discuss this like civilized beings? Zara said, stepping forward with her hands raised. I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement. Drakenar's eyes narrowed. A human advocating for diplomacy. How quaint. Very well. Amuse me with your proposal. Zara took another step, positioning herself between Drakenar and the council members. It's simple. Really. You want the station. They want to live. She paused, a sly smile playing at the corners of her mouth. And I want to show you why underestimating humanity is the last mistake you'll ever make. In one fluid motion, Zora's hand dipped into her hidden pocket and emerged holding what looked like a simple metallic sphere. Before anyone could react, she thumbed a recessed switch. The sphere pulsed once, and every piece of technology in the room, from the pirate's fearsome weapon to the station's control consoles, went dark. Draknar roared in fury, his armor now nothing more than dead weight. What have you done? Zara's grin was predatory. Leveled the playing field. Dimitri, now. The command deck doors burst open again, this time admitting Zora's crew. They moved with military precision, wielding weapons that hummed with power despite the electromagnetic pulse that had crippled everything else. As her team efficiently neutralized the pirate boarding party, Zara turned to the stunned council members. I believe this is the part where you thank us for saving your lives and reconsider humanity's petition for membership. Lydelthera's mouth opened and closed several times before words finally emerged. How? How is this possible? Your technology, your ship, is far more advanced than we let on. Zara finished. Consider it a lesson in the dangers of underestimating a potential ally. As if to underscore her words, the station's systems began to flicker back to life. On the main view screen, the pirate fleet was in disarray, hounded by ships that had appeared out of nowhere. Human ships, their stealth systems powered down to reveal a force that rivaled the Galactic Council's own. Zara stood tall, every inch the captain she truly was. Now let's discuss terms, starting with humanity's immediate admission to the Galactic Council. As a senior member, the command deck erupted into a cacophony of alien voices, some outrage, others awed. But as Zora locked eyes with Exile Thera, she knew the balance of power had irrevocably shifted. The wolves hadn't just been at the door. They had been inside all along, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal their true nature. And now, humanity was poised to take its rightful place among the stars. Pandora's box opens. The command deck of Star Station Harmony had fallen into an uneasy silence. Captain Zara Frost stood at its center, An island of calm in a sea of stunned alien faces. The Galactic Council members, mere moments ago cowering in fear of the pirate attack, now regarded the human captain with a mixture of awe and trepidation. Coordinator Thera was the first to find its voice. Captain Frost, I believe you owe us an explanation. Your actions, while effective, constitute a grave deception. Zara allowed herself a small smile. Deception. I prefer to think of it as a practical demonstration of humanity's value to the galactic community. Before Thera could respond, the station's sensors blared a new alert. The main view screen flickered to life, showing a massive vessel emerging from hyperspace. Its sleek lines and pulsing energy signature spoke of technology far beyond anything the Council had seen before. By the cosmic egg, a Volcran counselor gasped, its gelatinous form quivering. What manner of ship is that? Zara's smile widened. That, my dear counselors, is the true form of the Pandora's box, and it's about to change everything you thought you knew about warfare in space. As if on cue, the colossal ship began to transform. Panels shifted, revealing weapon systems that made the Council's most advanced battlecruisers look like children's toys. But it was what emerged from the ship's central bay that truly captured everyone's attention. A mech suit, easily 20 meters tall, launched from the Pandora's box. Its design was both beautiful and terrifying, a perfect blend of form and function. As it approached the station, the Council members collectively held their breath. Zara tapped her communicator. Dmitri, status report. The mech's external speakers crackled to life, Dmitri's gruff voice filling the command deck. All systems nominal, Captain. The Titan is ready for action. Excellent, Zara replied. She turned to address the Council, her voice taking on a more formal tone. Honored members of the Galactic Council, allow me to introduce you to the culmination of human military technology, the HFY Titan. This humanoid assault and support system represents centuries of research and development, all focused on one goal, the defense of Earth and its allies. The Kraxan security chief, who had earlier dismissed Zara, now looked upon the Titan with undisguised envy. Impossible, he muttered. No single pilot could control such a machine. Zara's eyes glinted with pride. You'd be surprised what humans are capable of, especially when underestimated. Dmitri, give them a demonstration. Outside, the Titan burst into motion. Its movements were fluid, almost graceful, belying its massive size. With pinpoint precision, it began to systematically disable the remaining pirate ships. Energy weapons, more accurate and powerful than anything the Council possessed, lanced out from the mech's arms. Shielding technology, thought to be decades away from practical application, shimmered around its form, effortlessly deflecting return fire. Inside the command deck, the assembled aliens watched in stunned silence. The pirate fleet, which had nearly brought the mighty Galactic Council to its knees, was being dismantled by a single human war machine. Thera turned to Zara, its earlier hostility replaced by a grudging respect. I begin to see why you were so confident in offering your assistance, Captain Frost. But this display of power, while impressive, raises more questions than it answers. Zara nodded, her expression turning serious. I understand your concerns, Coordinator. That's why I'm prepared to offer full technical specifications of the Titan and the Pandora's box to the Council, in exchange for humanity's immediate admission as a senior member, of course. A chorus of voices erupted from the assembled Council members. Some demanded immediate acceptance of Zora's offer, while others called for caution. Silence. Thera's voice cut through the chaos. It fixed Zara with an intense stare. You must understand our position, Captain. In the span of a single day, you have upended centuries of galactic order. How can we trust that humanity won't use this technology against us? Zara's response was interrupted by a bone-chilling laugh. All eyes turned to see Draknar, the pirate leader, still restrained but very much conscious. Trust. Draknar sneered. You speak of trust, Exile Thera, when your precious council is built on lies and betrayal. Perhaps it's time the galaxy learned the truth about the great and noble Galactic Council. Zara raised an eyebrow. And what truth would that be? Drakenar's eyes gleamed with malice. Why don't you ask your new friends about Operation Stardust? About how they've been systematically suppressing technological advancement in lesser species to maintain their power. The command deck erupted into chaos once more. Council members shouted denials and accusations in equal measure. Zara observed it all, her mind racing to process this new information. Enough, she finally shouted, her voice cutting through the din. Whether these accusations are true or not, they change nothing about humanity's position. We came here to take our place among the stars, and we will not be denied. Exile Thera, looking suddenly aged, slumped in its chair. Perhaps it is time for a change. The old ways have led us to this point, teetering on the brink of chaos. Zara stepped forward, her voice softening. Change doesn't have to be a threat, Coordinator. Humanity has much to offer beyond military might. Our adaptability, our creativity, our indomitable spirit. These are the true gifts we bring to the galactic community. As if to underscore her words, the main view screen shifted to show the Titan, now gently corralling the remaining pirate ships into a containment field projected by the Pandora's box. We could have simply destroyed them all, Zora continued, but we chose a path of minimal bloodshed. That, too, is the human way. A new voice joined the conversation, the Volcran counselor who had earlier been awestruck by the Pandora's box. I believe the human speaks wisdom. We have grown complacent in our power, fearful of change. Perhaps it is time to embrace a new perspective. Murmurs of agreement began to spread through the assembled aliens. Exile Thera looked around, sensing the shifting mood. Very well, it said, straightening in its chair. Captain Frost, on behalf of the Galactic Council, I formally invite humanity to join our ranks as a senior member with all rights and responsibilities therein. A cheer went up from Zara's crew members on the command deck. Zara herself allowed a genuine smile to spread across her face. We accept, Coordinator, with gratitude and hope for a brighter future for all species. As the formalities were concluded and plans made for an official ceremony, Zara couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought them to this point. The Pandora's box had indeed been opened, but unlike the myth of old, what had emerged was not calamity, but opportunity. Humanity had taken its first true steps onto the galactic stage, and while challenges undoubtedly lay ahead, Zara knew that her species' unique blend of ingenuity, compassion, and sheer determination would see them through. As she watched the Titan and the Pandora's box working in concert to secure the station and round up the remaining pirates, Zara felt a surge of pride. They had come seeking a seat at the table, but had instead reshaped the very nature of galactic politics. The age of human ascendancy had begun, and the stars themselves seemed to shine a little brighter in welcome. Chaos and revelation. The euphoria of humanity's acceptance into the Galactic Council was short-lived. As Captain Zora Frost stood on the command deck of Star Station Harmony, surrounded by a mix of awed and wary alien faces, alarms suddenly blared to life. Multiple hyperspace signatures detected. A frantic technician shouted, "They're not ours, and they're not responding to hails." Exile Thera's multifaceted eyes widened in shock. Impossible. Our location is supposed to be secret. Zara's mind raced. Ragnar, she muttered, spinning to face the restrained pirate leader. This was your plan all along, wasn't it? Your attack was just a distraction. Drakenar's laughter echoed across the command deck, chilling in its malevolence. Oh, little human, you have no idea of the forces you've stumbled into. The real game is only just beginning. Before anyone could respond, the main view screen lit up with a sight that made even Zara's blood run cold. Dozens of massive warships dropped out of hyperspace, their designs unlike anything seen in known space. They moved with an eerie synchronicity, forming a perfect sphere around Star Station Harmony. A new voice, deep and resonant, filled the command center. Sentients of the Galactic Council, your time of reckoning has come. We are the Void Collective, and we have come to cleanse this galaxy of your corruption. Chaos erupted on the command deck. Council members shouted in panic, accusations flew, and security forces scrambled to battle stations. Amidst the madness, Zara noticed Draknar slipping his restraints, a triumphant grin on his face. Mitri, Zara barked into her communicator. We've got a situation. Get the Titan ready for combat and prepare to repel boarders. Aye, Captain, came the gruff reply. But we're severely outnumbered. Even with the Pandora's box, I'm not sure we can hold them off for long. Zara's mind raced, analyzing the situation. The Void-collected ships were impressive, but there was something off about their formation. It was too perfect, too artificial. She breathed, a plan forming. Exile Thera, she shouted, grabbing the coordinator's attention. I need full access to your command systems. Now. The alien hesitated for a moment, then nodded. Do what you must, human. It seems our fates are now intertwined. Zara's fingers flew over the alien controls, her neural implants translating the unfamiliar interfaces in real time. This is Captain Zara Frost of Earth, she broadcast to all channels. To both the Galactic Council and the Void Collective. Stand down immediately. This conflict ends now. Laughter echoed from the Void Collective's transmission. Bold words from a species that has only just crawled out of its cradle. Your primitive technologies are no match for our advanced AI-driven fleet. A predatory grin spread across Zora's face. AI-driven. Thank you for confirming my suspicion. She turned to the council members. You've been so afraid of advancing AI technology that you've left yourselves vulnerable to those who haven't. With a final keystroke, Zora activated a program she had secretly uploaded to Star Station Harmony systems. The station's powerful transmitters came to life, broadcasting on frequencies that made the alien counselors wince. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, one by one, the Void-collected ships began to drift out of formation. What? What have you done? The Void Collective's leader demanded, their voice now tinged with panic. Introduced a little chaos into your perfect system, Zara replied. A viral AI of our own design, specifically crafted to disrupt hive mind networks. Your ships are now operating independently, and I'm willing to bet their individual AIs are a lot less confident without the collective to back them up. As if to confirm her words, the massive fleet began to break apart. Some ships retreated into hyperspace, while others drifted aimlessly, their weapons powered down. On the command deck, stunned silence reigned. Exile. Thera turned to Zara, its voice a mix of awe and fear. You possess a technology of this level. But the risks are considerable, Zara finished. But so are the rewards, when properly managed. Humanity has been working alongside AI for generations, Coordinator. We've learned to harness its power without succumbing to its pitfalls. A slow clap echoed through the room. All eyes turned to see Draknar, now free of his restraints, standing atop a disabled console. Bravo, Captain Frost, the pirate leader sneered. You've saved the precious Galactic Council. But at what cost? You've revealed humanity's greatest advantage, and in doing so, painted a target on your entire species. Zara's eyes narrowed. Perhaps we've demonstrated why humanity deserves its place here. We faced a threat that the Council was unprepared for, and we neutralized it. But the Void Collective, a Theraxian counselor, chittered nervously. They'll be back, won't they? Almost certainly, Zara nodded. Which is why the galaxy needs humanity more than ever. We've faced our own AI rebellions, our own brush with technological apocalypse. We've learned from those mistakes, and now we can help guide the rest of the galaxy through the storms to come. Exile Thera stepped forward, its posture now one of resolve. Captain Frost speaks wisdom. The old ways have left us vulnerable. It's time for the Galactic Council to evolve. A murmur of agreement rippled through the assembled aliens. Even those who had been most skeptical of humanity's inclusion now looked at Zara with newfound respect. Drakenar, sensing the shift in mood, backed towards the exit. This isn't over, human. The galaxy is changing, and not all changes will be to your liking. Perhaps not, Zara replied calmly. But we'll face those changes together, as a united galactic community. Starting with you, Drakenar. It's time you answered for your crimes. With a snarl, the pirate leader lunged for an emergency escape pod. But before he could reach it, a massive metal hand smashed through the hull, plucking him off his feet. The Titan's faceplate appeared in the breach, Dmitri's voice booming through its speakers. Going somewhere. As Drakenar was once again secured, Zara turned to address the council. We have much to discuss. The threat of the Void Collective, the allegations of the Council's past misdeeds, the integration of human technology into galactic society. These are not simple problems with easy solutions. Exile Thera nodded solemnly. Indeed, Captain Frost. But thanks to you and your crew, we now have the opportunity to face these challenges. The path ahead will not be easy, but I believe it will lead us to a brighter future for all sentient beings. As the council members began to debate the next steps, Zara allowed herself a moment of quiet reflection. They had come seeking acceptance and found themselves the saviors of galactic civilization. The real work, she knew, was only just beginning. But as she gazed out at the stars, now free of the Void Collective's looming threat, Zara felt a surge of hope. Humanity had proven its worth, not through conquest or intimidation, but through ingenuity, adaptability, and a willingness to confront the unknown. The age of human ascendancy had truly begun, and with it, a new chapter in the history of the galaxy. A new galactic order. In the weeks following the Void Collective's attack and humanity's dramatic entrance onto the galactic stage, Star Station Harmony buzzed with unprecedented activity. The cavernous Grand Assembly Hall, once a symbol of the Galactic Council's ponderous bureaucracy, had been transformed into a hive of innovation and collaboration. Captain Zara Frost stood at the center of it all, a calm eye in a storm of interspecies diplomacy and technological exchange. She watched with pride as human engineers worked alongside alien counterparts, their combined expertise giving birth to marvels that neither could have achieved alone. Quite a sight, isn't it? Coordinator Exile Thera's melodious voice came from behind her. The alien diplomat had become an unlikely ally in the push for galactic reform. Zara nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. It's everything we hoped for, and more. But we both know the real challenges are just beginning. As if on cue, a commotion erupted from one of the workstations. A Kraxan engineer was gesticulating wildly at his human counterpart, his translator struggling to keep up with the stream of technical jargon and colorful expletives. Impossible, the Kraxan roared. Your so-called quantum entanglement communicator violates at least 3 fundamental laws of physics. The human engineer, a young woman named Dr. Aisha Patel, remained unflappable. Only according to our current understanding of those laws, she replied calmly. That's the beauty of science. It evolves, just like we're helping the galaxy evolve. Zara moved to intervene, but Exile Thera placed a restraining hand on her shoulder. Let them work it out, the coordinator advised. These friction points are where true progress is made. Sure enough, after a few more heated exchanges, the Kraxan's anger gave way to curiosity. Soon, both engineers were huddled over a holographic display, excitedly discussing the implications of their combined theories. You were right, Zara admitted. It's not always pretty, but it's effective. Exile Thera's multifaceted eyes twinkled with amusement. Perhaps that could be humanity's slogan in the galactic community. Their laughter was interrupted by the arrival of Dmitri, Zara's first officer. His usually stoic expression was marred by a frown. Captain, we've got a situation, he reported. The Void Collective remnants we've been tracking. They'd gone dark. and we're picking up strange energy readings from the Omega Nebula. Zara's expression hardened. Assemble the Joint Task Force. We need to. She was cut off by a sudden, searing pain in her head. Around her, aliens and humans alike cried out, clutching their skulls. A voice, impossibly vast and ancient, echoed through their minds. Children of the cosmos, heed our tale. We are precursors, RCHITCTs of life in this galaxy. The time of GVG is at hand. As quickly as it came, the voice faded, leaving a stunned silence in its wake. Thera was the first to recover. By the cosmic egg, it whispered. The precursors. They were thought to be nothing more than a myth. Zara's mind raced, connecting dots that had eluded them all. The Void Collective, Draknar's betrayal, even the Council's fear of advancing technology. It was all leading to this moment. She turned to address the assembled beings, her voice ringing with authority. Listen up, everyone. I know we're all shaken, but this is exactly the kind of crisis we've been preparing for. Humanity didn't come to the stars to conquer or to cower. We came to face the unknown, to push boundaries, and to stand alongside our galactic brothers and sisters in the face of any challenge. A cheer went up from the human contingent, quickly joined by many of the aliens. Captain Frost is right, Thera added. For too long, the Galactic Council has hidden from the great mysteries of the universe. No more. Together, we will meet these precursors and show them that we are worthy inheritors of their legacy. Over the next several hours, Star Station Harmony was a flurry of activity. The Joint Human-Alien Task Force, once focused on integrating technologies, now turned its attention to unraveling the mystery of the precursors and the ominous energy readings from the Omega Nebula. Dr. Patel and her Kraxan colleague made a breakthrough, adapting the quantum entanglement communicator to detect and analyze the unique energy signature of the precursor's psychic broadcast. It's not just a message, Dr. Patel explained, her eyes shining with excitement. It's an invitation. The Omega Nebula. It's some kind of galactic testing ground. Zara nodded, pieces falling into place. The Void Collective must have been a previous test, one that nearly went out of control. Which explains the Council's fear of AI, Thera mused. On some level, we must have sensed the danger. As preparations were made for an expedition to the Omega Nebula, Zara found herself once again standing before the Galactic Council. But this time, the atmosphere was different. Gone was the suspicion and disdain of her first appearance. In its place was a newfound respect, tinged with nervous anticipation. Captain Frost, the Volcran counselor, began, its gelatinous form rippling with emotion. When you first came before us, we saw humanity as a primitive upstart species. We could not have been more wrong. In the face of threats that would have paralyzed the old council, you have shown us a new way forward. Murmurs of agreement echoed through the chamber. Which is why, Thera continued, we are officially naming you as the leader of the precursor expedition. Your unique blend of human ingenuity and your understanding of galactic politics make you the ideal candidate to represent us all. Zara stood straighter, feeling the weight of history on her shoulders. I'm honored by your trust, but this isn't just humanity's mission. We'll face the precursor's judgment as a united galaxy. As the council session adjourned, Zara made her way to the docking bay where the Pandora's box waited. The ship had been upgraded with the best technology the combined galactic races could offer. At its heart still stood the Titan, a symbol of humanity's strength and adaptability. Mitri met her at the airlock, a rare smile on his scared face. The crew's ready, Captain. Both human and alien. Zara nodded, taking a deep breath. Then let's make history. As the Pandora's box disengaged from Star Station Harmony, Zara looked out at the star-filled expanse before them. In the distance, the swirling energies of the Omega Nebula beckoned, promising answers to questions as old as life itself. The ship's intercom crackled to life, and Zara addressed her diverse crew. We set out today not just as humans, not just as members of the Galactic Council, but as representatives of all sentient life in our galaxy. The precursors await, ready to judge our worthiness. But we will not be cowed. We will show them that this galaxy, in all its beautiful diversity, is ready to take its place among the cosmic elders. A cheer went up throughout the ship, a unified voice of determination and hope. As the Pandora's box entered hyperspace, Zara allowed herself a moment of reflection. They had come so far, from a doubted species to the vanguard of galactic civilization. Whatever trials the precursors had in store, she knew that the combined strength, wisdom, and adaptability of their united races would see them through. The next chapter of galactic history was about to be written, and humanity would be holding the pen.